Hello and welcome. I am Vaibhav and our today's topic is projection of planes, and we'll be learning about rhombus, pentagon and hexagon as our planes. So, in projection of planes, plane figure are our objects. So, what is usually asked into the problem? So, we need to draw the projection of these planes or objects, means their front view and top view in stage 1, stage 2 and in stage 3. Now, what will be given in the problem? So, three data must be given in your problem. First, description of the plane like dimensions, shape and size of an object must be given. Second, the resting condition of plane must be given, like resting on HP or resting on VP must be given, like resting on its shorter edge or longer edge or corners or any of the sides. And finally, its position with respect to HP and VP must be given, like theta, plan and top view for HP must be given and phi elevation front view for VP must be given. And in which manner its position with respect to HP and VP must be given. So inclination of surface with one of the reference plane must be given and inclination of one of the edges with another reference plane must be given. So here now your plane must be inclined to both of the reference plane HP and VP. So now let us see for first object. So this is your rhombus. So first let us understand what do you mean by rhombus. So rhombus is such element which has two diagonals. One is horizontal diagonal and second is your vertical diagonal. The horizontal diagonal is also known as here the longer diagonal and vertical diagonal here is known as your shorter diagonal. So we must have two diagonals in order to construct the rhombus. One is shorter diagonal and second is longer diagonal. So let us move ahead and check out first example based on your rhombus. So example number 1. So a rhombus of diagonals 40 mm and 70 mm long respectively has one of its longer diagonal in HP. Why? That the diagonal is 45 degree inclined to HP. If the top view of the same diagonal makes 30 degree inclination VP, draw its projections. So here our object is what? Rhombus. Two diagonals are given. The shorter diagonal is 40 mm and longer diagonal is 70 mm. It is said that it is resting on its longer diagonal on HP. That means we should construct the longer diagonal in such a way that one of the points of a longer diagonal must be on the left hand side in our drawing. Then after we must be given with two data, one with respect to HP and one with respect to VP. So as you can see, there is one inclination with respect to HP given and there is another inclination with respect to VP given. So let us start our drawing. So first we should draw the horizontal XY line like this. Now then after we should draw the rhombus. So rhombus, as it is said that it is resting on HP. So we must draw the rhombus below your XY line in HP. Now it is also said that it is resting on its longer diagonal. That means we must draw a longer diagonal in such a way that one of the points of a longer diagonal must come on the left hand side. So as you can see, we have drawn the longer diagonal horizontally and the starting point of the longer diagonal is what? On the left hand side, or you can say the longer diagonal corner is on the left hand side. So we must draw first the horizontal line of 70 mm which is the longer diagonal. Thereafter we must find its center point and we must construct 20 mm above this line and 20 mm below this line in order to construct the vertical shorter diagonal of 40 mm. After getting this both of the diagonals, we should join the points of this diagonal end points and we can have this diagonal, this rhombus created. After creating this rhombus, we must give the numbering to this rhombus like this A, B, C, D as you can see in anti-clockwise direction. So this is your top view or your true shape generated into your HP. After getting this shape generated, we must find out its front view in VP. So for that, we must draw the vertical lines from each and every point like this. So after getting this vertical line, we must have one line which is nothing but your front view into VP. So let us give its numbering. So A dash, B dash, D dash and C dash. So after giving numbering, now let us observe the data next. So as your rhombus is resting on HP, we must use first the data of HP. So let us find out the data for HP first. So it is said that the diagonal, so one end of its longer diagonal is in VP, one end of its longer diagonal is in HP, while the diagonal is 45 degree inclined to HP. So we are talking about the same diagonal which is resting in HP. It is now at 45 degree inclined to HP. So as your object is resting on HP, we are taking the data with respect to HP first. Remember that. So here we need to incline this diagonal 45 degree to HP. So we know that below this XY line the plane is what? HP. So the 45 degree inclination with respect to HP means one line which is 45 degree inclined to this XY line like this. After getting this line, we are talking about the longer diagonal. So longer diagonal in front view is what? A dash C dash, the horizontal line in front view. So we should take the dimension of A dash C dash onto this inclined line. So for that what we should do? We should take the dimension of A dash C dash onto our rounder. Take A dash point as a starting point on this line and try to cut this inclined line by C dash point. So we'll be having your final point as C dash point like this. Now, after that we should transfer B dash D dash point also on this inclined line. So for that what we should do? So we should take the dimension of A dash B dash D dash from your first stage front view horizontal line, and we should cut this inclined line by that same dimension. We will be having your point B dash D dash. Now after having this front view inclined line, we should generate now top view in second stage into HP. So for that what we should do? So we should draw the vertical line from each and every point like this. So let us draw vertical line from each and every point. After constructing vertical line, for a reference from your first figure, we should draw a horizontal line from a rhombus. So let us draw a horizontal line from a rhombus in order to get the point of intersection. After getting this horizontal line, we should find out the point by intersection of vertical line of A dash, horizontal line of A, you will be having your point A. Vertical line of B dash and horizontal line of B, you will be having your point B. Vertical line of C dash, horizontal line of C, you will be having point C. And vertical line of D dash and horizontal line of D, you will be having point D. So after getting ABCD point, you should connect these points, and these points will give you a rhombus in the final figure like this. So we have completed our second stage. So now let us move to our third stage. For that, let us read the question first. So here it is said that if the top view of the same diagonal makes 30 degree inclination with VP, draw its projections. So we are talking about the top view of the same diagonal. So let us first understand what do you mean by top. So in first figure, as you can see, it is actual length which is given in your example. So it is known as a true length of an object because we have used the true length whichever is given in our example, which is 70 mm, so which is what? True length of an object. But in second stage, when your line gets inclined, you are having the second view as your top view, which is not of a true length and which we can define as our plan length, or you can say top view. So here the horizontal line is described by a plan length, or you can say a top view. So the diagonal is changing in the length in the second view. So the second stage figure, we can identify this horizontal diagonal as plan length. Now here it is said that if the top view of the diagonal makes 30 degree, that means we should incline this plan length to 30 degree, which is also a top view. So we should incline this plan length at 30 degree to your VP. So we know that VP is above your XY line, so we should construct one line below your XY line like this, which is nothing but the inclination with respect to VP. So let us construct this plan length AC at 30 degrees. So we'll be having this rhombus like this. So we should just redraw the figure of your second stage onto a third stage by the help of your rounder, and you can draw this figure in this manner at 30 degrees, in which you can observe that top view or plan is inclined at what? 30 degrees. After getting this figure, we should finally find out the front view in VP. So for that, let us draw the vertical line from each and every point like this. After getting this vertical line, we should draw horizontal lines from each and every point like this. And after getting horizontal and vertical line, we should find out the intersection points like A dash, B dash, C dash and D dash. And after getting all of these points, we should simply connect these points in order to have our inclined rhombus. So this is nothing but our final front view, which is generated in the final stage. So that is it in this example. Now let us see one more similar example and let us compare these both examples at hand. So now example number 2. A rhombus of diagonals 40 mm and 70 mm long respectively, having one end of its longer diagonal in VP. Problem number 2. A rhombus of diagonals 40 mm and 70 mm long respectively, having one of its longer diagonal in HP, while that diagonal is 45-degree inclined to HP and makes 30-degree inclination with VP. Draw its projections. So by comparing this both example, we can know that the starting stages are quite similar to the previous example. So let us see this example. So in this example, we are given with the rhombus. So what we need to do is we need to construct the rhombus with a similar dimension 40 mm by 70 mm. So let us construct the rhombus in first stage, which is the same as your previous example number 1. Then after, let us give ABCD numbering. After giving numbering, let us find out the front view in VP. So let us draw vertical lines from each and every point. So we will be having horizontal line on our XY, which is nothing but your A dash, B dash, D dash and C dash. After that, let us find out the second stage drawing. So as your rhombus is resting on HP, we must take the inclination with respect to HP first. So for that, what we'll do, we'll try to take the dimension with HP. So here the diagonal is at 45-degree inclined to HP. So we have drawn the diagonal AC from your first stage is now 45 degrees. So after drawing this line at 45 degree, we should specify A dash, B dash, D dash and C dash on this 45-degree line. Thereafter, after getting this inclined line, what we do, we just need to draw vertical lines from each and every point and horizontal line from previous object in order to find out this final figure. Now, let us come to a third and final stage, which is actually different as compared to your example number 1. So let us see. So let us read the data. Makes 30-degree inclination with VP. But what makes 30 degrees? So let us find out. Let us read from previous sentence. So your longer diagonal is in HP, while that diagonal is at 45-degree inclined to HP, and the same diagonal makes 30-degree inclined with VP. Which diagonal? A longer diagonal which is in HP, which is at 30-degree inclined to VP. So we are talking about the real longer diagonal which is in HP, it is at now 30-degree inclined to VP. So what is a real diagonal? So real diagonal is denoted by red in the first stage, as you can see, which we have taken to draw our first stage true shape. So this is nothing but a true length. But in second case, we are having a shorter length of the diagonal, which is also known as the top view of the diagonal or your planned length. But here in this our example, it is said that your longer diagonal is inclined at 30 degree to your VP. That means we are talking about the actual longer diagonal. We are not talking about the plan or the top view, as it is said in your first example. Let us read first example, last line. If the top view of the same diagonal, so we are talking particularly about the top view, but here in this case we are not talking about the top view, but here we are talking about the actual longer diagonal. So we should draw the actual longer diagonal, that means this red line at now 30 degree angle. So let us start our problem by drawing this longer diagonal at 30 degrees. So I will draw this line at 30 degree to VP. So this is what your true length. So I have drawn this true length. So for drawing true length, we should find out first. Let's select a point somewhere here on this line. So I have selected randomly any point A on this line. Thereafter, what you need to do, you need to take the dimension of AC of your true length, red line onto your rounder, put your rounder at point A and try to locate the another point here. This is nothing but your point C. Now, this is point C2. Why? Because we will be using the projection of point concept. So when we are drawing the true length, we should identify this point as C2. After having this C2, we are having this length as true length. As you can see, we have taken this length from your first stage drawing. Now we know that we always tend to redraw the figure of your second stage, right? So for that, what we need to redraw the second stage figure, we need the plan length. So in order to redraw the second stage figure into third stage, we need a plan length. So now we need to draw a plan length onto this figure. So first, let us draw the locus from this point C2, and on the same locus we can have the end point of your plan length. So now to get the plan length, what we need to do, let us take the dimension of this green line, the plan length AC, onto your rounder, put your rounded point A here and try to cut this line here. So you will be having this line which is nothing but what? Your plan length. And after getting this plan length, you should redraw your complete rhombus onto your plan length like this. And you will be having your rhombus generated. After that, you just mark this point. So this is nothing but your final object in the third step. So remember the difference here, we have taken the angle with the true length and then after we have plotted the plan length, and based on the plan length we have drawn our object. So this method is also known as your plan length method or beta angle method. It is the most important method which is always asked in examination. So try to get the difference between two. In the first example we are talking about the top view of the diagonal, but in this case we are talking about the actual diagonal. That's why I have taken the actual diagonal first, then after I have drawn one locus, and then after I have generated the plan length in order to redraw this figure into third state, and then after we can draw the figure into third state. Now, after drawing this figure, now let us move ahead and let us find out the front view in this vertical plane. So we must draw the vertical lines from each and every plane like this. So let us draw vertical line from each and every plane. Then after, let us draw the horizontal line from this previous inclined line. So we will be drawing the horizontal line from previous inclined line. Then after, find out the points of intersection A dash, B dash, C dash and D dash. So A is vertical line, A is horizontal line, A dash, B is vertical line and B is horizontal line, B dash, C is vertical line, C is horizontal line, C dash, and D is vertical line and D is horizontal line will give you point D dash. After having these points of intersection, simply you need to connect these points in alphabetical order in order to finish your diagram. So let us connect these lines in order to alphabetical order. So this is nothing but your final object. So here you need to observe the difference between two of the drawings. In first drawing, you have taken the angle with directly with respect to plan length or the top view because it was said in your example that if the top view of the same is inclined at 30 degree to VP. But in the second case, it was said that longer diagonal is making 30 degree. That's why we are taking here longer diagonal at 30 degree. Then after we are constructing the locus, and then after we are plotting the plan length. So this is the major difference between two of the examples. So try to pause the video for some time and try to observe the difference between two of the examples. If you have any doubts, any queries, feel free and comment down below. So now let us move ahead and let us see one more example based on the same concept. So now draw the projections of rhombus having the diagonals 125 mm and 50 mm long. The smaller diagonal of which is parallel to both the reference plane, while the other diagonal is inclined at 30 degree to HP. So here we are talking once again about the rhombus which is having 50 mm and 120 mm diagonal. So let us first start constructing the rhombus. But wait. Here it is not said that the rhombus is resting on whether HP or whether VP, and it is not specified that it is resting on its longer edge, shorter edge. It is not given. So in such kind of problems, what we need to do, so always remember whenever the resting condition is not given, you should assume the resting condition on your own. So here, I will be assuming that your rhombus is resting on your HP, and you can always assume that your object is resting on HP first. Then after it is not given that it is resting on its edge, it's on the longer edge or shorter edge. So for that case, always remember you should take the rhombus resting on its longer edge. That means one of the points of a longer edge must be on the left hand side of your rhombus. So let us start plotting this rhombus first. So in the first stage, what we need to do, so we need to construct the rhombus with the diagonal 50 mm and 125 mm as you can see. Then after give the numbering A, B, C, D in clockwise pattern. Then after let us draw vertical line from each and every point in order to get the front view onto XY line like A dash, B dash, C dash and D dash. Then after, as your rhombus is resting on HP, we should find out the condition for HP first. So let us read the data and understand the condition for HP first. So it says that smaller diagonal of which is parallel to both the principal planes, while the other diagonal is inclined at 30 degree to HP. Other diagonal means we are talking about the longer diagonal. So here longer diagonal is inclined at 30 degree to HP. So since your object is resting on HP, so we must take this condition as our second stage diagram. So the longer diagonal is now at 30 degree to HP. So let us plot the longer diagonal at 30 degree to HP. So we must draw. We know that below this XY line is your HP. So 30 degree to your HP means your line inclined to your XY line like this. And we should draw the longer diagonal, which is what? AC in this case. So you should take the diagonal A dash C dash from your front view in the first stage drawing, and we should incline that line at 30 degree in this case. Now, then after inclining this line, you should transfer each and every point on your horizontal line from your first stage onto your second stage by the help of your router. So now we are having the incline with A dash, B dash, D dash and C dash at 30 degree. After getting inclined line, you should draw the vertical lines from each and every point and horizontal line from each and every point. And intersection of these 2 points will give you a rhombus into your second stage, which is nothing but a top view in second stage. So now we have completed the second stage drawing. Let us move to a last and final condition of example. So let us move to a final condition of example. So here, smaller diagonal of which is parallel to both the reference planes. So we are talking about the smaller diagonal. So let us first find out what is the smaller diagonal here. So let us observe the second figure, in which what is the diagonal? There are 2 diagonals. First is your AC diagonal and second is your BD diagonal, which is vertical. So it is obvious that AC is a longer diagonal as compared to BD. That means BD is our smaller diagonal. So we should make this BD smaller diagonal parallel to the XY line, and we know that XY line represents your VP and as well as XY line also represents your HP. So if you try to draw your BD line parallel to XY line, which means your BD would be parallel to both the reference plane HP as well as VP. So let us draw this BD somehow parallel to the XY line, and then after try to redraw this figure of your second stage into your third stage by the help of your rounder, you will be having this final figure generated into your third stage. After getting this figure, let us draw a vertical line from each and every point, a horizontal line from each and every point. You will be having your final object created, which is nothing but your front view into your third stage. Very easy. So let us move ahead. Next object, pentagon. Penta means 5 and gon means sides. So it is an object having 5 sides, and 5 of the sides must be of the equal length because we are taking the regular pentagon here. So we know that the external angle of pentagon is what? 72 degrees. So for that we can understand that internal angle must be what? 108 degrees. So if you don't know how to draw pentagons, you can refer to my previous lecture based on geometric construction, and you will get to know how to draw pentagon easily. So after getting that understanding of pentagon, let us solve few of the examples based on this pentagon. So let us start with the first example on the pentagon. So a regular pentagon of 30 mm size resting in HP on one of its sides with its surface 45 degree inclined to HP. Draw its projections when the side in HP makes 30 degree angle with V. So here our object is what? Pentagon. The side of pentagon is given, which is what? 30 mm, and it is resting on HP. That means we should draw this pentagon below this XY line into your HP, and which is having its sides in HP. So it is resting on its sides in HP. That means we should draw pentagon in such a way that one of its sides must come on the left hand side. Then after we have 2 data, one respect to HP, one respect to VP. So let us start drawing with XY lines. So let us draw first your XY line. Thereafter we should draw the pentagon in such a way that it should rest in HP. So we know that above XY line is what? VP, and below XY line is what? HP. So it is said that pentagon is resting on one of its sides on HP. That means we should draw pentagon below this XY line in such a way that one of its sides in HP. That means it is on the left hand side. So as you can see, I have drawn one pentagon in which you can see one of the side is vertical or it is on the left hand side. So this is the case you have to draw the pentagon. After drawing pentagon, let us give the numbering A, B, C, D in anti-clockwise direction like this. You can see. So this is your true shape drawn. After drawing this true shape, let us find out the front view on the vertical plane. So let us draw vertical lines from each and every point like this. So we'll be having this line generated, which is nothing but your front view in VP. So let us give the numbering as A dash, B dash, C dash, D dash, and finally D dash. So first stage drawing is over. Now as you can see, your pentagon is resting on what? HP. So we should take the angle with respect to HP first. So what is the angle with respect to HP here? So one of its sides with its surface 45 degree inclined to HP. So here we need to incline its surface at 45 degree. So the line in front view, which is A dash, B dash, C dash, D dash and D dash, which is nothing but the describing the whole of the surface of the pentagon in the simple straight line. So we need to incline this line at now what 45 degree to HP. So we know that below this XY line what is there? So it is HP. So above this XY line must be your line which is inclined at 45 degree to HP. So we should draw this line in such a way in order to incline this line at 45 degree to HP. After drawing this line, we know that we have now inclined the surface at 45 degrees. So in the front view, we know that surface is shown by the horizontal line in first stage. So let us transfer each and every point on the horizontal line into this inclined line by the use of rounder. So we have transferred each and every point of this horizontal line B dash, A dash, C dash, E dash, D dash onto this line by help of rounder. After getting this all of the points on your inclined line, you must draw the vertical lines from each and every point like this, and horizontal line from each of the every point of a pentagon like this on the right hand side. So you will be having points of intersection, and after connecting these points of intersection, you will be having this shape generated, which is nothing but what is your pentagon. And let us give the notations A, B, C, D, E. So it is the same fashion as it is given in your first stage drawing. So we have completed a second condition. Now let us come to a final condition, which draw its projections when the side in HP makes 30 degree to VP. Side in HP means we are talking about the same side on which it is resting on HP. So what is the side it is resting on HP? It is on the left hand side, right? So let us find out on the left hand side what is the side which is AB. So we should incline this AB side at 30 degree incline to VP. So let us draw first the 30 degree inclination line to VP, and thereafter we should draw this pentagon of the second stage in such a way that the side AB must lie on this 30 degree line. So let us draw pentagon in such a way that we should have the side AB inclined at 30 degree onto this inclined line. After getting this point AB, you should use your rounder in order to redraw the figure of your second stage into your third stage, and you can easily redraw this figure of a pentagon into a third stage. So it is your top view of a pentagon in the third stage. After getting this pentagon, the final stage, what we need to do, we need to just generate the front view. So for that, what we need to do, we need to just draw vertical lines from each and every point like this, and horizontal line from this inclined line, and thereafter we should mark these points, and you will be having this pentagon, inclined pentagon. So this is A dash, B dash, C dash, D dash, which is nothing but your front view of a pentagon in the third stage. Very easy. Let us move to our next object, which is what? Hexagon. Hexa means 6, gon means side. So the object having 6 sides of equal length is known as a hexagon. Hexagon can be drawn with the help of circle. So for method how to draw hexagon, you can follow my previous lectures based on geometric constructions, and you can easily draw hexagon in the given positions. So let us move ahead and let us see one of the examples based on hexagon here. So problem number 1, draw the projections of a regular hexagon of 25 mm size having one of its sides in HP and inclined at 60 degree to the VP, and its surface making an angle of 45 degree with HP. So here hexagon is our object, the sides of hexagon is 25 mm each, and it is resting on one of the sides in HP. So we should draw hexagon in HP having one of the sides in HP. That means below your XY line we should draw the hexagon in first stage, and then after one angle with respect to HP is given and another angle with respect to VP is given. Very simple. So let us start drawing hexagon. So for drawing hexagon, what you need to do? So hexagon must be, so let us understand, here it is said that having one of the sides in HP. So we must draw hexagon in such a way that one of the sides of hexagon must be on the left hand side or the vertical. So as you can see, I have drawn the hexagon in my first stage by having one of the side vertical on the left hand side. So how to draw hexagon? So I will give you one brief explanation. So first you need to draw 25 mm radius circle. After drawing this 25 mm radius circle, you need to identify center point. After identifying center point, you should locate 2 points just above your center point and just below your center point vertically. After identifying points, you should take the 25 mm on your rounder, put your rounder at the above vertical point and try to cut on the left and right hand side of the circle, and similarly put your rounder onto below point on the circle and try to cut on the left and right hand side of your circle, and you will be having 6 total points, and when you try to connect these 6 points, you will be having this hexagon like I have drawn. After getting this hexagon, let us give the numbering pattern A, B, C, D, E, F into anti-clockwise direction. So our true shape is drawn in HP. After getting this true shape drawn, we should draw vertical lines from each and every point from your hexagon, and we will be having one horizontal line as a front view in VP on XY line, as you can see. So A dash, B dash, C dash, F dash, and D dash, E dash. Then after in next stage, what is said? So as your hexagon is resting on HP, we must take the condition of HP first. What is the condition of HP? The surface is making an angle of 45 degree with HP. Surface means what? A line which is showing all of the points on the same line, which is showing the complete surface of your hexagon. So here you can see that there is one line in the front view which is on XY line, A dash, B dash, C dash, F dash, D dash, E dash, which is showing the complete surface of hexagon by this small line. So this is nothing but showing the surface. So we should make this line inclined at what? 45 degrees. So let us make this line inclined at 45 degrees, as you can see in second stage, and mark each of the point of this line on this inclined line by the help of rounder. After getting this inclined line, the next stage is very simple. Try to draw vertical lines from each of the inclined points. Try to draw horizontal lines from your previous hexagon, and you can have points of intersection as point A, B, C, D, E, and F. After getting these points of intersection, you should connect each of these points in order to have your hexagon drawn in second stage. So we have completed second stage figure also. So now let us move to a third stage. So in third stage, what we need to do? So it is said that having one of its sides in HP and it is inclined at 60 degree to VP. So we are talking about the side which is in HP, which we need to now incline at 60 degree. So now first let us draw the 60 degree line, and then after think which side we are talking about. So here it is said that having one of its side in HP and incline at 60 degree to VP. So we are talking about the side which is resting on HP, and we have to make that side at 60 degree to HP. So now what is the side which is resting on HP? So it is the side obviously which we have put on the left hand side, which is the side which is side AB. So we should make this side AB incline at this 60 degree line, and after putting this side AB incline at 60 degree, we should redraw the figure of your second stage into your third stage by the help of your rounder. And after drawing this figure, we might have this final figure which is your hexagon, redrawn hexagon from your second stage figure. So we have just redrawn the hexagon from the second stage into third stage by making just inclination at 60 degree. After getting this hexagon, it is very simple. You need to draw vertical lines from each and every point of your hexagon and horizontal line from your inclined line. And whenever these lines intersect, you will have the points of intersection as A dash, B dash, C dash, D dash, E dash, and F dash. And after getting these points, you should connect all of these points in alphabetical order in order to get your inclined hexagon as a final view. This is nothing but your front view in the third stage. So now let us move to our next example based on the hexagon once again. So problem number 2. A hexagonal lamina has its one of the sides in HP and its opposite side and its opposite parallel side is 25 mm above HP and it is in VP. Draw its projections. Take the side of hexagon as 30 mm long. So here we are talking about hexagon lamina and side is having 30 mm long. But here observe that here said that one of its sides in HP. So that means it is resting on HP on one of its sides. We should draw hexagon in such a way that one of the side must be on the left hand side or which must be a vertical line. We have drawn hexagon in such a way that one of the side is resting on HP. That means it is vertical or either it is said to be on the left hand side of the hexagon. After having this side, let us give the numbering A, B, C, D, E, F in anti-clockwise direction, and from there let us draw vertical lines from each and every point in order to get the front view in VP for first stage. So we are having this straight line generated into your XY line, which is nothing but what? A dash, B dash, C dash, F dash, and D dash, E dash. So next, let us read. So as our hexagon is resting on HP, we should take the condition of HP first. So it is said that its opposite parallel side is 25 mm above HP. So we we should take this condition for consideration. So let us take a 25 mm bow and let us draw one horizontal line which shows that the distance of 25 mm above this line. So what we need to do, we need to just select A dash to B dash point somewhere on this XY line, and we need to take the dimension of A dash B dash and D dash B dash from your first stage front view, and we should try to take the dimension onto your rounder. Now put your rounder at your point A dash B dash and try to cut the horizontal line of your 25 mm away. You will be having your point finally D dash E dash, and after getting your D dash E dash point, you should connect this D dash E dash with your A dash B dash. You will be having this inclined line generated. Now onto this inclined line generated, you should transfer the dimension of C dash E F dash by the use of rounder from your first stage. So let us transfer C dash F dash by the rounder. After transferring this dimension, it is very easy. You should draw the vertical lines from each and every point, horizontal line from each and every point, and you will be having this hexagon generated into your top. So once again, here it is said that your opposite parallel side is 25 mm above HP. So opposite parallel side means what? So here the hexagon is resting on what side? AB, which is placed on the left hand side. So opposite side of AB is what? Side CD. So we are talking about side CD. So side CD must be 25 mm above HP. So this is your XY line. So above 25 above HP means 25 mm above XY line. So we should draw one line 25 mm above XY line, which suggests that your point D and E must lie somewhere on this line, which is 25 mm above XY line. But how to get this point D dash and E dash on this line? So what we have done is, we have taken the length of your front view from your previous stage, and we have taken the length on the rounder A dash B dash D dash E dash, and then after we have selected any random point A dash B dash onto your XY line, we have put a rounder at B dash B dash and try to cut the 25 mm line, which is 25 mm above your XY line, and we will be having the intersection as D dash E dash, and then after we are having this inclined line. Then after you need to draw vertical lines from each and every point, horizontal lines of each and every point, and you will be having this hexagon. Right? Now let us move to a final condition, which it says that in VP. So opposite side, which is 25 mm above HP, which is also in what? VP. So resting on VP means what? Your side must rest on XY line itself. So here opposite side means what once again? So it is resting on side AB. So opposite to side AB is what side? Is DE. So we must put this DE side somewhere here on XY line because it is resting on VP. So that means it must rest on the XY line. So we must draw hexagon in such a way that the side DE rests on your XY line. So we must redraw the second stage figure like this into a third stage, and then after drawing this figure, we must draw the vertical line from each and every point, horizontal line from your previous inclined line in order to get your final object. So we have used the two conditions. In first condition, which was opposite side is 25 mm away, we have used the 25 mm away, one horizontal line, and we have marked one arc, and we have found out that D dash E dash. And for last condition, what we have opposite side on VP. On VP means what? On XY line. So we have put this opposite side. Opposite side means here what? It is resting on side AB. That means opposite side to AB is what? DE. So we must put this DE side on XY line, and on this side we can have this final object which is DE resting on your XY line. So we must redraw the second stage figure into this third stage, and then after simply we just need to draw vertical lines from each and every point and horizontal line from each and every point. Very easy. So try to pause this example. It is very much important example. There are two different conditions applied into this example. So try to understand it very clearly, and then after move ahead. So let us move to our next example, problem number 3. A regular hexagon of 40 mm side has a corner in HP and its surface is inclined at 45 degrees to the HP. And the top view of the diagonal through the corner, which is in HP, makes an angle 60 degrees with VP. Draw its projections. So here once again we are having hexagon, but here in this case it is resting on corner on HP. So we should draw obviously the hexagon in HP but resting on corner. That means hexagon have a corner in its left hand side into your drawing sheet. Then after we have one data with respect to HP and another data with respect to VP. So let us start drawing with the hexagon. So you should draw the hexagon in such a way that you should have the corner on the left hand side. So for that what we need to do, we need to draw a circle of 40 mm radius. Then after, indicate your center point of your circle, and on the center point of your circle, draw from the center of the circle on the left hand side of the circle one point, and draw one another point on the right hand side of the center, and from that point draw one arc on the above and below of the circle, draw arc on the above and below of the circle with the same radius of 40 mm. You will be having this kind of hexagon drawn. After drawing this kind of hexagon, what you need to do, you need to give the notations ABCD in the anti-clockwise direction, ABCD EF. After getting ABCD EF, you should draw the vertical lines from each and every point. You will be having one horizontal line as a front view on VP, like A dash, B dash, F dash, C dash, V dash, and D dash into your first stage. In second stage, what is asked? It is asked that surface is inclined at 45 degree. That means your front view in the first stage must be inclined at 45 degree line. As you can see, you should incline that horizontal line onto your XY line into now 45 degree inclined line. You should transfer each and every point of that line into this inclined line by the help of rounder. And after transferring each and every point, you should draw the vertical lines from each and every point and horizontal line from each and every point of your hexagon in order to find out the top view of hexagon into second stage. So you will be having ABCD here, the second stage hexagon. Now let us move to a final condition in which the top view of the diagonal through the corner, which is in HP, makes an angle 60 degree with the VP. So here we are talking about the top view of the diagonal through that corner. So top view, we are talking about diagonal through that corner. So first let us understand what do you mean by through that corner. Corner means which corner it is resting. It is the corner, so A point is corner. So there is one diagonal passing from your point A. So AD is your diagonal which is passing from that corner. So we should take the top view of the diagonal. So in the first stage drawing it is a true length, but in second stage drawing if you find out the length of AD, then it must be your top view of the diagonal passing through that corner. So you should take the AD from your second stage drawing and you should make that AD incline at 60 degree with VP like this. So we have drawn the 60 degree line, you have taken the AD here, and you should redraw this second stage image into here, third stage image. So you will be having this hexagon drawn into a third stage in which your diagonal which is passing through that corner is passing through that A point. AD diagonal is inclined at 60 degree. After having this hexagon, you should simply draw vertical lines from each and every point and horizontal lines from each and every point. So you will be having your final hexagon drawn into your front view like this. So it is very easy. You should try and practice more and more kind of example because persistence is magic. You will see the improvement as and when you practice more. If you like and enjoy my lecture, do not forget to subscribe to my channel, like and share it with your friends. And if you have any queries, any doubts, please feel free and comment down below. Keep learning, stay connected. Bye bye.